My name is Mark Quealy. I'm the Parking Enforcement Supervisor for Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania. It's a small municipality south of the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I've been working there for 35 years. Day-to-day role is I oversee the operations of 2 parking structures, about 7 surface lots, and about 400 street meters. Well, what we have done in Mount Lebanon is we have developed a couple pilot programs. One is for variable pricing in our IPS meters in conjunction with data we retrieve through sensors in the street that's through street line. We had a demand by the merchants that the 2-hour time limits wasn't meeting their needs. So we wanted to effectively meet their needs, but also curtail people from parking on street all day. So we found that this variable pricing system used with the data we were able to analyze through the sensors and the back office systems of our single space meters gave us the idea that what we could charge and for what time period. So we instituted a 3rd hour that is at twice the price of the previous 2 hours. It's $1 an hour in Mount Lebanon, and it's $2 for the 3rd hour. I've heard just some things where people were talking about the autonomous vehicles were going to displace the need for parking, and that you would have these autonomous vehicles overtaking the cities. And I just, in my mind, I've taken my kids to the amusement park, and the first thing they want to do is drive the bumper cars. They don't want to sit in the passenger seat, they want to drive them. So I think there's always going to be demand for driving and a place to park the vehicles. The other thing is there's a reason Lamborghini can charge $500,000 for a car. They don't charge $500,000 for the privilege to sit in the passenger seat. They can charge $500,000 so somebody can feel the power of the engine in their hands. So I think that may be something that may generationally start to think, but I don't think it's anything going to happen in the near future. In the parking industry, if there's more a willingness between platforms and companies to share their data, I think we could have great advancements in parking and enhance the whole smart city experience. It's not that people are taking other people's pieces of the pie, we're just making a larger pie to work with, and I think it's to the benefit of everybody. I think the idea that everybody has a cell phone and they live on their cell phone. I have 2 children, one 13, one 20, and my wife and myself, and we're all in the same room and we're all looking at our phones. So I think the ability to use that to enhance your parking experience, one thing I was very excited about is I was hearing Google Maps and how they want to incorporate the parking experience into that function. And I think when you get somebody that big on the block to start exploring, I think that will really push the development. I think that the fact that if I can go in Google as an operator and put my information in there, I think it will make the end user's experience a lot more pleasurable. But the fact is, if it's diverse over or dispelled over 20 different type of apps, they're not going to know where to look. So I think when you get somebody like Google in the picture and them taking an active interest in parking, I think it's going to benefit us all. It may be a threat to some, but I think in the end, it's definitely going to be beneficial to the parking industry. And that's, as a small municipality, that's going to be a benefit for me. You're asking the wrong person, because I once said that the stock market would never go over 10,000 because so I've been proved wrong, and good thing I don't bet and I don't invest in the stock market. But if I did have to I think my prediction is that the parking industry is going to be, in lieu of the technology, remain surprisingly consistent. I think, one of the conference things was reutilizing parking garages for other purposes. I don't see that happening in my lifetime. I see that we'll still need the needs, it's just the methods that we use. I think the industry itself will remain consistent to what we recognize it, or as an end user recognizes as parking. They're going to go to the theater, they're going to want to put their car. They're going to want to drive their car, and they're going to want to go to a sporting event, and they're going to want their car there because if it rains, they want to get in their car and go home. They don't want to go to a mass transit and wait somewhere. And people, I think, are less tolerable of waiting at any time in the history because we're so ingrained for quicker, faster responses. And maybe it's my generation. My son might have a different opinion because he's this generation of Uber and Lyft. But the idea that I can go and get in my car and go is what I grew up with, and that's what I'm familiar with. And I don't see that changing, at least in the current generations. Again, it may transition over generations, but I don't think it's something that's going to happen quickly. And I think that there's a lot of things that are going to remain consistent, but improved. So I would really think, maybe this is wishful thinking, that an integration of all technology to a single source, whether that, instead of having 20 answers to one problem, I have one answer to 20 problems. And that's where I see where the parking can be beneficial and served well by technology.